There was a massive Halo Infinite update, which includes the release time for the game. And there's going to be 12 to 15 new reveals and announcements at the 2020 Game Awards. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Thank you for stopping by. If you're new here and you enjoy what you see throughout this video, hey, maybe consider subscribing to help this channel grow, help grow this community. We can have some cool, fun conversations in the comments below about everything going on in the video game industry, specifically for the Xbox Series and the PlayStation 5. But for now, let's jump into this. So last night we got a huge information dump on Halo Infinite, and this seems like this is what they were talking about giving us more information before the end of the year. So I want to go over it because there's a lot of interesting stuff in here. So this starts off with Joseph Staten talking about his role at 343, his previous roles with Halo, topping it off by saying Halo Infinite will be making its way out in fall 2021. Now, I'm not surprised about this at all. This is the time frame and the date that I predicted, or I thought that it was going to drop. I didn't think that they were going to delay it and then just release it a couple of months later. The delay for Halo Infinite was immense because of all of the marketing that was going into the Xbox Series with Halo Infinite, all of the packaging, that the Monster Energy drinks. In here in Canada, you have the Froster slushies where you have Halo Infinite cups. So I have one of them here. I've actually collected them all now. But they had all of this marketing for Halo Infinite to coincide with the launch of the Xbox Series X and S, and then they delayed it. So they weren't just going to wait a couple of months. They were going to really take their time, and it coming out an entire year after it was supposed to makes a lot of sense. Now, when it comes to the arts and graphics update, it was pretty interesting because I talked to some of the lead art designers, the concept artists, and the art director, and they just go over basically everything that we've seen transpire from when they showed off the game originally in July to what they're doing right now. When they showed off the game originally in July, they said that a lot of the negative feedback they got from the actual visuals of Halo Infinite, they agreed with, because the actual trailer itself was meant to really be showing off its gameplay and Master Chief using the grapple hook and all that kind of stuff. And I personally thought the gameplay looked like a ton of fun. So I focused a lot on the gameplay. I didn't focus as much on the visual fidelity as a lot of people did online, but that's where all the backlash came. And the team here says that they agree that that was not ready and that they agreed with that backlash. So here is what they're saying on what they're working on in order to improve this. And they also talk about Craig, the famous meme that came out of Halo Infinite. So they mentioned this a few times throughout the article, but a lot of the features when they showed off that initial gameplay were still in development. Here's what they say. July was indeed a very much work in progress slice of the technology, and a reasonable set of key features from global illumination and dynamic time of day, GPU driven rendering, and variable rate shading were all in active development. Much of the graphics team's capacity, along that of some key technical artists, was focused on achieving high resolution and performance leading up to the demo, which meant several of these features didn't quite get the level of polish and bug fixing that was warranted. Visual fidelity is a very important goal for Halo Infinite, and the graphics and art teams have been continuously aspiring and working closely with each other to create the best looking Halo game ever. I definitely want to acknowledge the input that we got from the Halo community and our fan base. Staying open to critical feedback and looking to areas where we can learn and do better is an inherent part of our culture 343. So I mean, that's good news if you're really worried about the graphics. I think that this extra year that they're taking is going to do a lot to how the game looks. They're going to have more time to implement these features that weren't ready at that original demo. And I think it's really important when they say here that they're listening to the community. I think that's a big thing, because they also go on here to talk about the designs of the weapons and just different things within Halo Infinite. And if you remember with Halo 5, a lot of people were kind of upset with the look of it, with some of the visual changes that they made. And they said that they took all that feedback and they're going back to the legacy look of Halo. And we can see this here with the rocket launcher. We can see this here with the sniper. They are going to take those legacy looks and also obviously add in the next generation features to make them look really, really good. And I think that's really important. I think they did a really good job, at least with these screenshots. These guns, these weapons look absolutely amazing, and I'm excited to see them in action in the actual gameplay. We also want to talk about the graphics and content for the environments within Halo Infinite, and here is what they say about how it looks and the work that they're doing. From a graphics technology perspective, the majority of the rendering pipeline and rendering techniques are shared between interior and exterior spaces. Very similar shading models showing algorithms and post-processing effects are used. Where the primary difference comes into play is the sheer density of content in the expansive outdoor environment and the challenges that brings in authoring the content at scale and then at runtime efficiently streaming all that data and rendering at a smooth 60 frames per second at high resolutions. So as we saw in that original demo, it's going to be an open world single player campaign, which I'm really pumped for, and it's going to be in 60 FPS right off the get go, and they're going to have high resolutions. And like they said above, when they were showing that gameplay demo, that's what they were focusing on. They wanted to make sure that the demo was in a high resolution and had a steady frame rate. Another difference that is unique to the exterior environment is the seamless time of day. So that's cool. We're going to see going from night to day like we see in a lot of open world games now, which requires a more dynamic global illumination approach, along with providing various knobs of control, the elements of lighting, sky and atmospheres, and color grading as time progresses. But this is going to be a much deeper game in the way it looks, the environment, the things that they're going to need to be showing. So it's going to take a lot more work to make it look good. And again, that extra year of development time, I think is going to be well worth it. And they reiterate that, talking about how the extra time has helped them with the look. And even in the short time since July, they've made changes, and we're going to see even more as the year goes on. There's some more pictures here, like these Spartans. I would go onto the actual site and actually look at them yourself, but the armor looks really good. I really love the style of armor they're going with. There's going to be lots of customization options, and one of the things that I think people are kind of concerned about is that since the multiplayer is going to be free to play with Halo Infinite, is there going to be a ton of microtransactions? And they talk about that in this area too. And they say that there will be premium microtransactions, but they're going to really reward you for playing the campaign and just progressing throughout the game. But here's exactly what they said. Yes, being free to play does mean that there will be some premium cosmetics, but players will still obtain tons of customization content through things like playing campaign, challenges, skill, special events, legacy rewards such as the Halo 5 SR 152 reward, the progress system, and more. We will always provide value to pure engagement and simply playing the game. But I think that's important. We'll have to wait and see obviously how it's fully implemented when the game is released. They hopefully will have a good balance between people who want to buy extra cosmetics to make their character look a certain way, and for people who put in tons of hours into the game, hopefully get similar rewards to those people who are going to be buying it right away. Now, another thing that's been talked about with Halo Infinite has been coating. So this is going to be a new system in how you customize your Spartan in Halo Infinite, and it's going to allow you to define color, wear and tear patterns, and materials on a region by region basis on the Spartan or anything in the game, be it armor, weapons, vehicles, or even environment elements like fuel barrels. So there's gonna be a ton more customization. We're all used to like this primary and secondary colors when we create our Spartans, and now we're gonna have a lot more options in making our Spartan look the exact way that we want to. I think this is a good change. They said that they had thought about it really hard and they moved away from the foundation of how it always been with customizing your Spartans, but I think this is a cool thing. More options, more customization, and creating your Spartan to be more unique. Another big hitter is that now we know, I'm not sure if they announced this earlier or not, but there will be no loot boxes, either through engagement or the premium route, and there will be no selling of power or giving an unfair advantage in game via any route. That's always important. I didn't think that was going to be in there, but I am happy now that this is confirmed. So you don't need to worry about the game being free to play. Nobody's going to be able to buy their way to the top. Now, finally, Joseph Staten ends off here the article talking about the game and just what he's done or what he's experienced since he came in to the project. And he says something here that, I mean, he's probably not going to say anything different because he's working for 343, he's working for Microsoft, but I think you could take something away from it. And he says, my first week on the job, I played the entire Infinite campaign twice. I was, in a word, stunned in the best possible way by what the team has done. Infinite is by far the most expansive and vertical Halo world ever. Why did the team do this? Because they understand that wonder and freedom are key to the Halo experience. And I mean, that makes a lot of sense, right? From the very first Halo, when you drop down into the open world, and it's experience, at least for me, that I hadn't really experienced in an FPS before. So I was blown away. And that was way back with the very first Halo Combat Evolved game. Now we're getting Halo Infinite, which is going to be on the next gen consoles, is going to be massive. We're going to have a huge open world. We're going to be able to go pretty much wherever we want. So this is something I'm very excited for to see more of, with side missions and different types of things you're going to be able to collect throughout the world. And the verticality of it, it's going to be cool to see just how you can traverse the world, how high you can go, those type of things. He even kind of furthers that sentiment here, saying it encapsulates all the excitement and curiosity and joy I felt with my first journey through Zeta Halo, the most mysterious, dangerous, and possibility-rich place in the entire Halo universe. Everywhere I looked, I saw choices. Do I explore off the Golden Path, assault that banished war base guarding the Valley Pass, follow our flight of Forerunner Sentinels into the unexpected cavern, rescue a squad of Marines dug in and desperate halfway up the mountain, or do I keep pulling the main story thread that feels epic and intimate at the exact same time? So it's gonna be like a really cool open world game. It's gonna be massive. It's gonna be lots to do. We're gonna have lots of choices, and I'm really excited about that. Yeah, Halo Infinite confirmed coming out fall 2021. We're gonna have to wait a year for it, but I think it will be well worth the wait. And I think that this time that they're getting, that extra year they push this game back, is gonna do a lot to help the game. Now moving on here, we have the Game Awards coming up this Thursday. And I'm really excited for it because last year we had that massive announcement of the Xbox Series X and a bunch of other cool stuff. We're going to see more announcements this year, obviously, and we have confirmation that there's going to be around 12 to 15 world premiere reveals, including big AAA titles. Now, the Game Awards, I'll be streaming it this Thursday, starting at 6 p.m. because there's a panel with like Phil Spencer and everything for an hour before the show actually starts, or half an hour, or however long it is. I'll definitely want to be seeing that. But Jeff Keighley on a Reddit AMA had this to say: I think there are a good dozen plus games that will be announced, revealed at the show for the first time. I think around 12 to 15 or so. That's cool. We've also seen other stuff that he's been tweeting out. So for example, the Dead Space co-creator will reveal a new PS5 and Xbox Series X game this week. So this is going to be at the Game Awards. That's one that we know we're going to see. So Glenn Schofield, who worked on Dead Space, also worked on the Call of Duty franchise, opened up his new studio and new team called Striking Distance Studios, and they're going to be showing off that game. So maybe it'll be in the same vein as a Dead Space, maybe a spiritual successor, because I know a lot of people want a Dead Space after Dead Space 3, and we still have not seen that. So this could be kind of the spiritual successor to that. And then Jeff Keighley also tweeting this out: he is a storyteller who transcends mediums. Game Awards is honored to welcome Christopher Nolan to present the award at Thursday night's global celebration of video games. Now, Christopher Nolan obviously is known for his movies, but it's interesting because this is a report from like 2010 where Christopher Nolan wanted an Inception video game. So maybe that's finally coming to fruition, or a game that's sort of like that, where he can actually use his imagination and create some sort of cinematic style game. I don't know. All I know is that the Game Awards is going to have tons of announcements. I'm excited for it. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about all these celebrities doing the announcements at the Game Awards. I mean, I can understand it's a business and they want to get the most eyes on it, and it's going to generate more revenue by getting big names to announce these games. But these people obviously aren't entrenched in the video game industry. They don't know that much about games. They don't play games most likely. So, I mean, maybe they do. I'm just assuming they don't. But I mean, it just kind of goes against a lot of what people want to see. We'd rather see like game developers or people who are really in the industry talk about games, present them, and do that kind of stuff. But that's not where the money is going to come from. And I think that's why all of these big celebrities are presenting these games, are going to be running the show. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Halo Infinite taking that extra year and it releasing in 2021. Let me know what you think of the graphics style that you've seen from these screenshots. Let me know what you think about the Game Awards and what games are going to be announced from those 12 to 15 world premieres. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you see throughout this video, hey, maybe consider subscribing to help this channel grow and to create a fun community where we can discuss everything going on in the gaming industry. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.